Hello sports fans, and welcome to the Sports Express. I'm Alonzo. I'm going to be doing something a little unorthodox today. My set here is usually for my money talk and for what's going on in the world. But today you'll be getting Sports Express from this studio today because the weather is not permitting today for me to be outside to do my normal show. Let's jump right in on our topic today. The topic today is women reporters and commentators in sports. You know, if you take a look now as opposed to probably in the 80s and 90s, you know, you see way more women sideline reporters, studio analysts, as well as you see game day, where you have people who's game day analysts who are female analysts. Now you see most of them on ESPN2 or smaller stations. And sometimes every blue moon you might see them on some major station. And as time going on, it's growing and they're putting women in place. And I think it's a wonderful thing because I think it should be an arena that should be open for any individual who knows sports and loves sports as a whole. And it should be treated as the same. Now there's also some issues that I have with women commentators, that not all. Let me get that out of the way, because there are some that they demand to be respected just like their male counterpart. And their dress code is appropriate, in my opinion. But there are also some that I like to call that they're camera whores. And I don't mean whores like in bed, okay? Let me just make sure that somebody think I'm calling somebody a whore. That's not what I'm saying. When I say camera whore, that can be a male too, who's looking for attention, and they're drawing away from what their profession is and putting a black eye on the other women out there who's there solely for sports reporting, and that's it, with no side agendas. I'll give you a prime example. You take Erin Andrews for example, who was a ESPN analyst. Okay, now when she had the incident in the hotel, you know, clearly there was public sympathy and they wanted to go after the individual who sit there and secretly record her and bring him to justice, and I understood all that. But what happened was you took an individual who, she didn't take that time to go and go out there and speak to other women or young ladies who's going into the sports profession and teaching them all these different things. She went to Dancing with the Stars and all these other commercials and all this other stuff. She became a bigger star after that incident than beforehand. And that was clearly her taking advantage of a situation that she should use to take care of other situations, such as teaching other young ladies or other female analysts or up-and-coming reporters on what to do and what not to do, and to seek out these kind of criminal acts or something. But you have some women that sit there and they take that time to sit there and have their agent to sit there and market them even more now, because they're a spotlight that, okay, well, I'm plastered all over the news, so let's see if you can get me some more press, and then you get all these other jobs. Now, I'm not saying she don't earn her job, but I'm saying I know a lot of stuff that she's receiving now is based on the fact on that situation, and that's just someone who just took advantage as a camera whore, and nothing more. The second one is, her name is Inez Saints of TV Azteca, and she was, most people remember in 2010, she was in the locker room with New York Jets, and all of a sudden they was catcalling her, and she took exception to it, that she felt like a piece of meat or disrespected. But you take a look. I want you to all go back and take a look at some of the photos. This lady right here had her out there with her stuff just popping out. You cannot tell me you woke up in the morning and looked in that mirror and see what you had on and didn't think that didn't attract men. I can almost assure you she's a woman bird. That woman didn't walk in that locker room not seeing almost 50 to 70 men out there half clad dressed and didn't think that I'd be attracted to one of them. See, sometimes women don't care what you're saying to them. It's who's saying it to them. If I'm interested in you, then they don't have a problem with it. If they won't give you time of day, then all of a sudden they're insulted. Then you should be across the board, not picking your poison or cherry picking it. And that's what she did. She's in that with her clothes half off. You have some of them sideline reporters who have the stuff with the stuff just popping all out. They got on all these tight clothes. There should be a uniform dress code for all sports reporters, man or woman. I think that women, just guys and women, should have to wait outside the locker room. Because I can tell you one thing, I bet you those women who sitting there, with them men half dressed and interviewing them, I bet you wouldn't have men that would be able to go into women's dressing room with them half dressed. Would they allow that? I don't think they would. Not without a public outcry. But it's okay for women to be in there with men when they half dressed, because it's for ratings. They put a pretty face and her half dressed, and then they sit there and throw out there with all them guys in the half dressed, and for ratings. But nobody has a problem with it. And women don't either when they're sitting there eating off that plate. But no, it should be a uniform across the board policy code where you come in and you dress professionally. You have a lot of places that you go into that they don't allow you to come in and you dress in all these tight pants and stuff all up in your stuff in your rear, and you can barely walk in them. And people they're focusing on that instead of you as the worker there, or your shirt all open and you're showing all your balloons. They don't allow that. They say you have to meet standard dress code here, or you got to go home, or you won't have a job here. Same should be in the sporting world, no different than the business world. If you go in there dressed halfway and half like you get ready to go to the club, or you get ready to go out there to attract men to sleep with, then expect the same kind of response. Oh, don't get mad because I dress nice and all that stuff. No, it has nothing to do with that. That's being disingenuous, and you know it. If you look in that mirror and you see that half your stuff is hanging out of your clothes, then you already know exactly what response is. Because a lot of women dress like that because that's what they want. They're just looking for a particular type of man to sit there and catcall them. Okay? But you got to understand the fact that the moment you do that, you open that floodgate right open. And you should be open to having those situations where men going to be catcalling you. Okay? Don't sit and do it in one place and say, oh, I can't stand when men that sit there and do that to me. Oh, I hope they don't harass me today. Okay, well then put on some decent clothes. Oh, there's some women that can wear regular clothes and they're going to still get catcalls. But they ain't going to be the same. It's not on the same level as you having your stuff all popped out, okay? Okay, let's just be realistic, okay? You have men that like women, but you also love women that look like they're loose, okay? And that's exactly no different than a guy who might be wearing jeans hanging down behind his hand with his drawers hanging out. And they say, oh, that's a thug. You might get to know that guy. He's a great guy. He just happened to be wearing that apparel. But you won't know that because most of them people see them as a thug. Okay? Now, so if women want to be considered on the same level and respect as their male counterpart in the sporting world or the business world as a whole, you have to have a dress code. You just do. Okay? I'm a man, and I'm not saying I don't like what I look at. I'm a man. I like what I look at, but on the same token, I'm a realist to know that that woman is putting herself in a position where they're not going to respect her and they might disrespect her. But that's based on a choice that she's made as well. Okay? And like I said, I think that women reporters should be outside of that locker room until that guy's fully dressed and he can come out there and he can have an interview or meet him at the podium. Okay? But don't have it where men can go into WNBA while they're half naked, or tennis, or any other sport, and they half naked men aren't allowed to go in there. Why should you be allowed that? Oh, because of ratings, because of double standard, because of ignorance. So I call on women, if you truly mean well, and I think it's important that other women speak to other women about their dress code or have a problem with it. You know, there's some women that they don't wear dresses and stuff like that. They're comfortable in suits that look like men clothing. Good for them. But they're still in their element with their male counterpart. You don't see many guys with their shirt all popped open, or they got on pants that's so tight that they walking around looking like they're on a disco fever. You don't see that. They make them wear suits, shirts, and ties, or something that looks presentable. the same shall apply to you as well for women who's in sports analysts, sports, or the sporting industry as a whole. Now I look for you all to feedback to me and let me know what you think about what I'm saying. Sound off on what I'm saying on my Facebook, on my Twitter, on my Google Plus. I'm looking for subscribers so I can continue to carry this show. You know, right now it's still in this early element and it's raw and this footage and everything, and that's gonna smooth out as time go on. But I don't look at cutting anything. And like I said, for the trolls who look to find all kind of issues with my show, you go, so be it. I don't have time for people like you because you're invaluable to me anyway, and probably most of the world. So I look forward to everyone. I am an equality for everyone. I look forward to having women's in sport. I think it's a great thing, and I am here to promote it. Come on my show, and I'd love to have you on it. So cutting that off and signing off for this week on my Sports Express, which I'll be in my other studio next week. You all have a great afternoon. Take care of yourself. God bless you, and good day.